So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. I'll ask if there's any further comments on the motion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Financial reports. Thank you, Fran, for having these ready and allowing us to look at them ahead of time. Are there any questions or comments, anyone? To Fran? From anyone?
I will say that we're doing really well with income because of our CDs that
Yeah.
are well ahead of the game. Moving those over to those higher yielding CDs really paid off,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah. I make a motion we accept the financial report.
Second motion and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Comment period. Any comments, Mrs. Vice Mayor?
I would like to thank Brian for keeping the flowers watered over in the above ground gardens at the park. They were a little fragile and they really needed some water. And I'd like to thank Jane K. Sisson for coming and helping me plant, and she brought flowers. She thinned down a lot of her stuff and brought it, and it's doing really well.
Nice. Looks pretty. Any council member report or comments? Aaron?
All right.
Yeah.
In a tough decision, my wife and I have decided to relocate back to Pennsylvania. Having a 3-year-old now who every time he sees his grandparents and has to be taken away from them and asks to see grandma and grandpa afterwards, and we're 7 hours away. We've decided to head up back to Pennsylvania. So Andrew can get to know his grandparents some more and spend more time with them and get to know his cousins some more. We have my wife and I have made Montross our homes for the last 14 years. That's why I met my wife here. We had a son here. I've absolutely loved our time at Montross. It's been a wonderful community. I recommend it to anybody. A beautiful place of America to set your roots down. I'd like to thank Tricia Lewis for talking me into taking the step to come and serve in town council. And I'd like to thank Terry Cosgrove for mentoring me through my first year or so, and Fran, your assistance as well through the process of that. And it's been wonderful serving with you all in town council. But I'd like to submit as of at the end of this month, I'll submit my resignation. It'll be effective at the end of the month. Yeah, it's been a tough decision, but my time at town council has been too long. But one of my pet projects I've taken a lot of pride in was extension of the playground. Andrew absolutely loves playing that playground, and nothing makes me happier when I'm down there and seeing kids down there having fun on the playground. And parents now commenting and say how nice our park looks and how wonderful the playground is. I think it was. I'm proud of the town council for making that investment in our community for future. The kids, we're becoming a younger town, so it's a worthwhile investment. And I'd like to thank Fran behind the scenes of doing all the work. Brian maintaining the park has become one of the real gems of the community, having that whole park there. So.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fran, comments?
I'm gonna miss him. He's just in the short time that we've had a chance to work together. He's a cheerleader for sure, and so we wish him well and know that wherever they land, that area is a lucky area. I'm sure they're gonna put their roots in and help on that end the same way that they did here and take ownership of things. And so we wish you much success. And come see us when you're home.
I'll be back periodically. I'm plenty of wonderful friends here in the community.
Mrs. Carlson?
Well, I'm just going to miss not spending more time with your son.
Mhm.
I only had the one event with him. And he was on their street, and that little thing was on a little hike of some sort, and down that hill he went. And I'm like, he's in my brain, he's letting that child do that? Because he was flying. But he knew what he was doing.
He's a little daredevil already.
Yeah, that was a fun experience for me. And thank you so much for helping out here. It's wonderful. Thank you. God bless you and your family.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, this is a surprise. Definitely. You have been an asset to the council, definitely an asset to the neighborhood. I watched you take action, not speak about action, in a positive way, not in a very humble and receptive way, which is really cool. Definitely it'd be a loss to the community, loss to the council, but family, your heart is in the right place, you're doing the right thing, and we applaud you for that. And I'm just getting to know you, getting ready to know folks, so to speak. And so you're taking off. So I'm missing the opportunity of growing that relationship. But that's cool. Again, you're doing the right thing. I think we will miss you. You don't really miss a person until they really leave, and then you start noticing, oh, this used to happen. Oh, Aaron used to do that. And that's when you start finding out the things that you actually touched. Good way. We wish you all the best, and growing your family and your career and just life itself. So thank you. Attaboy.
I had your son in my first group of kids at W&L High School in class of 2015. I had some of his students twice, as freshmen and juniors. It was such a pleasure to see those groups that students grow up and develop through that experience. But class of 2015, these are forever my babies. A lot of those kids, your son was one of that class.
Sometimes he's still my baby. That's another story.
Mrs. Whitman?
Well, thank you for your love of our community and all you've done for it. And I will miss your always thinking and always having good ideas how to make things better. And if you think of any when you're in Pennsylvania, you can just write back and let us know. We will miss you.
You're going to leave us a list, right?
Mr. Smith?
Man, well, I think probably met you the first day you came once more. And obviously, as a council member, I've only been on the council with you for a brief amount of time, but as a friend and colleague, it's going to be, we've been blessed to have you, and Whitney as well, in our community, and just as, mentors to children, and obviously, on the council of Montross. So I'm definitely going to miss both of you, and I understand why you're doing what you're doing, and I know you're going to be a great asset to your hometown, and we're going to miss you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee?
I don't have too many words, but it's been great serving with you over the last 4 months or so. And I just hope the best for you and your family and your future endeavors.
Thank you.
What do we have, a group of people who are the speechwriters? That was really
Yeah.
nice
They
comments.
did a good job, yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Well,
You're leaving me not much to say, so I'll leave it with this. Two comments. One, Aaron was talking with us when before the meeting started. And he says it's been a little stressful and exciting, and he went to Food Line and forgot what he went there to get. So I would start keeping a note. That might help you. And then I think your legacy, if you will, should be something that we should pay attention to and hopefully learn from, is your kindness. You're an extremely kind person, and you know, just observing and working with you, I'm sure you're an outstanding teacher. But the kindness is something that we all could take away and learn from you. So we really appreciate your time here.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other council member comments? I have a comment. Who's the installation company that put the camera system in? It's professional looking, it looks nice. It really does. It's impressive. When I walked in, I said, "Who did this, Fran?" And so it really looks nice. Is it functional? Is it?
Yes, functional, everything's
It
working
is?
well.
And the monitors in the office over there?
Yeah, just Google Home Nest,
Right.
just the monitors you would see in, and I would be able to meet with you maybe after, for anybody who wants to get set up with it. You know, I can help you so you can, mainly you can see it on your phone. Yeah.
Okay, good. And the monitors up front, outside the building, do we have a?
I've still gotta run the cable for
Yeah,
that one.
okay. And I saw the one back here, it looks nice. Really professionally done, thank you all.
You're welcome.
So,
That's only because they are
Well,
professionals.
I'm gonna be, Darren has set up
I see.
everything. So I'm gonna run that cable. Gosh, why did it couldn't have been at the worst time.
said you
But
don't
I
wanna-
think it's like,
Sorry, yeah.
You don't want to
but
crawl up in that attic.
we're gonna figure it out and run that cable.
Yeah. All right. And then can you anything going on with the neighborhood watch program?
I don't have an update for that.
Okay.
Stuff.
Great. We appreciate you coming to those meetings and handling that.
As soon as I get an update, I'll let you know.
Sounds great. You're a perfect person for that. So, all right, town manager report.
Well, I was out for a short time on vacation, so that took having a meeting last month that was a week early, and then being on vacation didn't leave a lot of time for things to happen, but in my report, trash is still an ongoing process. We seem to fix one thing and something else crops up, so we continue to try to refine that a little bit. Hopefully we're going to get there. We have had a couple customers who have expressed some dissatisfaction, so we're dealing with those issues as well. Probably the biggest thing that I worked on this past month was converting a lot of our CDs at 2 of the banks. As you saw in the financials, the original batch that we did paid off greatly by moving those to higher yield CDs. So we were at Union Bank, we had 3 CDs. At all 3 banks, we had an account for the tower, which seemed a little redundant. So we cashed in the CD at Atlantic Union Bank, moved it to one of the other banks that was paying a higher interest rate. So we've at least whittled away one of the accounts, and we'll continue to do that as we can. But I gave you a list of the CD rates that we're earning now. We went from earning 0.50 to earning 3.68 at one bank, and we had a 0.45, and now we're making a 3.45. So we'll gain a little traction on those changes. That leaves 3 CDs that haven't been moved, and when those come up for renewal later this year, my hope is maybe we can combine all 3 of those into one, because they all have piddly little amounts in them. It seems senseless to have, that's a lot of bookkeeping for small amounts, so we'll work on those as those come up. The parking lot at the bank, we remember if you We had a soft spot there that was being addressed. Chesapeake Land Works came and took a look at that. They were able, I went up and met with them. They said that there was somewhat of an easy fix. They were going to work and compact that, fill it with the right amount and the correct stone, and in the levels that it needed to be, and the layers that it needed to be, and then it would get paved over. So I think that has been addressed, and hopefully, I think the paver hopes to be there yet before the end of the month, which means next week. So hopefully that we'll be able to put that behind us fairly soon. The park pathway, I met with the paver on that. Hopefully next week they're going to finish that path. They're probably going to have to move it over a little bit now that the pedestals have been installed. That was going to be a barrier for them. I told them we could not take those out because they're concreted in. So they're going to do the path, and if there's any damage to the grass along the pathway, we'll fix that. So that's a small thing. And that's all I have for my report, sir.
Thank you, great report, appreciate all that.
I did have a town business mention to me that they were having a little bit of an issue with the trash, not trash, well, trash pickup consistency, but I think that's what you mentioned here. They told me they were going to reach out to you to let you know. They might, take an option to switch. That's probably the same. It might be the same. But wanted to mention that.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that you bring that.
All right, appreciate it, thank you. Fall Festival update. Alden?
Well, we met last week. Kathy Craig has volunteered to hand out flyers at the next First Friday, which will be in August. We did that in 2023, a couple of us, just hoping we could get the word out there. Thankfully, CNF Bank is going to sponsor skate night again. That's going to be good. On Friday, Triad will do their usual hot dog lunch. If you want hot dogs, you need to get there early. They sell out really fast. And then Providence United Methodist Church is going to do another movie night at the firehouse, which will be a movie, hot dog, drink, chips, popcorn, bring the family out. Stephanie hasn't picked out a movie yet, but it'll be a family-friendly movie. I think last year we had a good turnout for the first time, and I think it's a good fellowship event. Saturday morning, we'll hit the ground running. I gave Fran a list of volunteers that, places we need volunteers, and she's going to email it to all of you, so we didn't have to hand it out. I try to keep you all posted after we have meetings with updates. I hope you received them. Alan Hickman is working on the entertainment, which sounds like it's going to be fun. We're working on having a band play after the parade. And if we can get everything straight, we'll do that, which will be adding a little bit more to Fall Festival. See, I'm so old, I can remember a street dance. I won't tell you the song because it really ages me. But we're moving ahead and we're looking forward to it. We've had some people already. I'm doing as much online as I can rather than send letters because people don't pay as much attention to mail anymore. So I sent out for the food booths, the marketplace vendors, and some of them have responded already. And we'll since I've got them set up in a group, I'll start sending reminders, if you want a space, you need to contact us now. I think last year we had the largest group of vendors for the marketplace that we've had. I think we had 33 because we put them in the middle of the street last year. Do y'all have any questions that I can try to answer?
Just the task list shows what the task is and how many people need it.
And
and it's not on there, but I keep saying if we had somebody with a pickup truck, that instead of making several trips with the town truck, we load this one and say, you go here, and load that one and say, you go there, and it'll make things easier. One thing that's not on there, we need 2 people to help Jane Hackmeyer on Saturday morning. She will have booth assignments. And if we had a couple of people, you could take people and say, you go here, you go there. That would mean a lot.
Fortunately, I will be able to help for some period of time now,
Well,
because
you've got a wedding.
I do, but I think I'll be able to help during the morning, so,
Well, that's great.
yeah.
And the help is needed. You know how everything else happens. It all hits at one time. And that afternoon, the duties are on there of what we're gonna need to do to clean up. And the time frame may change as we move along depending on the music. I think that's it, but I just.
As much as we've talked about it now, and I think, did we put something on Facebook about needing help, volunteers?
Christie did.
Good. Is that help to, are you hearing much people
I have not
communicating?
heard anything.
Okay,
And, I've gone ahead and put my phone number right there.
yeah, all right,
That
good.
way they could call me rather than having Christie to have to take a message and let me know.
If,
And
you
I
know,
appreciate all the help from the town.
okay, great. And then just one more question, the flyer, we can put that on Facebook, get it out on the town
Yes.
website. And would it be a benefit if we were to help you with that?
Yes,
Who made it?
Christie.
Oh, she did? Okay. So we could have it
So,
enlarged.
What we're gonna do is, she was at the meeting the other night, and I've got the draft of it, but there's some, wording to go on the bottom, volunteers needed. And
Yeah,
my
that's a
phone
perfect
contact.
idea.
So,
If
when
you-
she gets back from her vacation, because we won't have a first
Yeah.
Friday until August.
It's not very costly. We could take the document, if we get it in a PDF, and have it made in a big folder, a big poster, if that would help get it out.
And, you know, social media, I'm not the biggest fan of social media, but for something like this, sharing it, and that's what I do. As soon as I see that she's posted something, I immediately click on it and share it, and then other people, you know, it's like, remember when we were in elementary school and our teacher played that little game? I've got a telephone message, or I'm going on a trip and I'm gonna pack my suitcase and I'm gonna put this in it. Well, if you tell people, they pick up on it, and a lot of times when they see something like this, they will share it with others. And Fall Festival is a good day here, and it's like, it is homecoming. It's a time when people come back, and they just enjoy seeing each other and talking to each other and picnicking, and I will say, I think the food court, since it's been moved across the road, is fantastic. It
Yeah,
makes it more a part of what's going on over
change is good.
there. Yeah,
So, and you feel good about it?
I feel good about it, and I think Alan does too.
Okay.
He does mainly, you know, getting music, logistics. I do the worrying about making sure it's typed and
Gotcha.
things like that.
I've already started working on my task that you gave me, so.
Please do so, we need to get that out. Joey's task is to, what should I say?
Well, there'll be a representative from the Westmoreland Rescue Squad, the Colonial Beach Rescue Squad, and the Montross Rescue Squad.
And we're going to include the dispatchers.
Okay.
And I would love it if some of the family members of these people that work so hard to get these volunteer rescue squads set up. I remember as a young person how hard the members worked to get that building down at Mount Holly built. And the building up here, Joey, you were very helpful with that, I think. Jigger Knight,
Yeah.
anyone in his family would ride, you know, in honor of their family and what they did for our community.
Absolutely. That sounds good.
So
Okay. Any questions or comments for?
Taken a couple calls already about food vendors.
Good.
So,
We have some of those different ones, and we've gotten at least one donation, so that's good. Y'all know how it is. We're in the early stages, but we want to keep y'all posted. Know that we are working on it, and got a good feeling about it.
We appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Any other reports? I'll make sure I've not missed anyone. We'll move on to action items. This is the time that we vote to accept the budget. Does everyone have a copy of it, Fran? Okay. Everybody's got a copy of it. Just if there's any final questions or comments, we have to vote on it, agree to the budget, and then it'll be implemented July 1. Are there any additional comments or questions for Fran to field? I think it's been a good process this year, so thank you. All right. Hearing no
With knowing we're going to have more interest income, do we just let that go into miscellaneous, or just go into that line item and deal with it the next budget? Any kind of change?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. At least we know where this one will be spot on.
Right.
If we're under. With budgeting, they say you plan and budget under, hope for the best.
I guess
All right.
they,
What's the pleasure of the council?
I think I'd like to make a motion to approve the budget as presented for this next fiscal cycle year.
Okay. We have a motion
Second?
and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mrs. Whitman?
Aye.
Mr. Hooks?
Aye.
Mr. Watson?
Aye. I wasn't sure if you said
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
And Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all. Next item is upcoming vacancies. We know, unfortunately, I told Aaron when he came in, we weren't accepting it, but I guess we are. But we'll work on a canceled position.
we'll also have to work on a planning commission. His wife sits on the planning commission, so.
Oh, she is?
Mhm.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, all right. We will work on that. If anyone has any ideas or thoughts about it, we may go back to some of the other people who expressed an interest and see if they have an interest now. But I feel confident we have big shoes to fill, but we can fill them. Okay. Neighborhood Watch, Mr. Watson's already reported on that. And the next item that we came up is, everyone has a copy of a special event, an entertainment permit. And Fran, kind of brief us on it before we approve it.
Yes, this came from Jeff Sanborn at Fisher's on August 2nd or 3rd, I believe. They're going to have entertainment that may go a little longer than the 10 o'clock that they typically do. It's a young lady who's from the area, and Cody Turner Dameron is her name. And so they anticipate a little larger crowd. There's maybe 130 people. And they'd like to go, he said it could go somewhere between 11 and 11:30, no later than 12. So I think town code requires that they just alert us to that, and council approves that can happen. I mean, I checked with Trish Lewis. She said she'd only had one request like that in her whole time here. So it's not something that happens very often, but they were courteous enough to ask us ahead of time, and wanted to make sure that they comply with everything that needs to happen. So
So anything that comes to mind is one, we definitely need to let the sheriff's office know as soon as we can.
Actually, sheriff's office is who told them to reach out to us, so.
Okay, good. And then there is a audible noise level that they have to comply with. I'm sure they know that.
Yeah.
So, okay. What's the pleasure of the council?
So 10 o'clock is currently,
10 is typically when all their entertainment, yes, 10 is,
but is that a town code thing or?
I believe it is town code, it's 10.
Okay.
So they're asking, they're submitting a special entertainment exception request to be able to go no later than midnight.
And midnight?
He said he anticipates it going to, 11:30 by the time they break down and all, but just is trying to cover the base there.
And I
The
take-
music can go to 12.
Yes, that is, that's what they're asking for is music.
Possibly that the music will move on, go all the way up to 12, because of the,
Oh, they do? Oh.
more of a youthful crowd.
I've asked them.
There, I'm sorry, there's a house right next door, and I've actually, not like officially in the town capacity, have they come to me, and said, hey, they just know that I play every once in a while, and have mentioned, so it might be good for maybe Jeff to, let them know, maybe, or I'm not sure if.
I believe
just
he's
a-
made every attempt to actually meet with that household.
Oh, really?
And the sheriff's department's been there with the decimal meter and all, and they're always
gotcha.
much under the allowance.
Okay.
Do you know if he had any success with meeting with the,
No.
that, yes.
Yeah.
And this is a
And it's
Saturday,
not-
I take it? It's not a weekday.
I don't believe it's a weekday,
Yeah.
August 2nd. And I talked with the previous proprietors at the barn, and they had the same issue, so,
Gotcha.
the same household, so.
I think midnight is really stretching it.
Well, that's, 2
That's
hours.
4
that's-
hours.
Well, it's 2 hours over,
Uh-huh,
it's
yeah.
11, when I was looking at 8 to 11, I was like, oh, I can see that. But
Yeah.
The 12 is,
We can make that recommendation if that's what the council wants to do.
I
What have
mean,
they been doing? Do you know?
well,
David?
I mean,
How late has it been?
yeah, venues around are usually done by 9. Music's done at 9.
Mm-hmm.
10 at the latest, I would imagine. I don't think I've ever played till 10 in town of Montross, but, most of the time it's acoustic and stuff. I'm not sure if that's the case here. And it sounds like it's more of a courtesy, kind of, just to cover the bases, right?
Breakdown time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that what the 12 is supposed to cover?
I'm
To give them
sorry.
time to break down and kind of,
And it'll be over at 12 at
Yes.
midnight?
Yeah. He doesn't anticipate it'll go that long, but he just doesn't want to.
It's a Saturday.
He wants to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, but it's about the music, not the breakdown.
That's fine. How you want that?
I think there needs to be a point at which the music stops.
Unfortunately, it is, obviously, there's a house right next door, and
Yes.
there are homes, that are gonna hear it, and,
But you
it's
know,
kind of like finding that fine
And
line between,
There will be complaints.
yeah.
When we had the event out in town, there were all kind of complaints, So,
if it was all acoustic, it'd be no problem, right?
Right. Well, you want to be reasonable too. I mean,
Sure,
somebody,
yeah.
I'm
has
just
got to work the
joking.
next
Yeah.
morning and is
If we
forced to
wanna-
listen to music they don't want to, that's not very.
Nah. And I guess it depends on what type of music too,
Well, I mean, not really. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, your tastes are one thing, but if you've got a, you know, as somebody who plays, I mean, if you got a, you know, you could enjoy the music, but it can be annoying when you've got to sit through it, not by choice, you know. I mean, that's just,
I mean,
regardless if you enjoy it or not, you know.
if you're not comfortable with the 12 and you want to cut it back to 11, we can do that. We can put that on there. So we approve it with this, you know.
I think that's
Yeah.
a little more respective of the people around. 11 o'clock is, I think music should end.
Is that a motion?
Yes, it is.
Need a
I would
motion?
definitely, I would shoot for 10:30
10:30, well, and I'd go for that too, absolutely. I'll amend it.
and then 11, you know, at the latest, you know. I mean, I guess.
Are you able to put a condition on the music, but still allow them more time to break down? Have a stipulation when the music ends?
Yeah, I just think that, yeah, how long it takes them to break down, I don't think that's an issue, is it? I mean,
Not at all.
But I think if we say 8 to 11, the music's going to stop at 11.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
the
what-
music stopped.
You're certain, right?
And what they're trying to do is balance the time of,
Yeah.
the crowd that would come to that particular performance.
I don't like to speculate, but I can't see him playing music right up to midnight, but anyway, we'll see. So the motion is that we approve it, but we have a condition on the time from 8 PM to 11 PM. That's the motion on the table. We need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. Is there any other action items that we need to cover, anyone aware of? Hearing none, are there any public comments? Hearing no public comments, the meeting's adjourned. Thank you all very much. What time do you want me to pick you up, Carolyn? We'll go be the monitor.
For our date,